All right, guys, here we are with day 2 of our candle making for the year. So I thought to do a French toast candle, and here I have with me a mold of slices of bread, and I also have a mold for the butter on top of the French toast. Now you could check on Etsy for small retailers that sell molds or will custom make them for you. There's a lot of resources out there. So we're getting started by pouring in some soy wax. I tinted it a very, very light tan. I still want it to look close to white bread, but not stark white. And after that, I'm pouring in a light pale yellow for the butter. So we're going to let those set. Okay, they are set. I'm putting on some gloves because the next step involves some wax dye, and it can be very staining. So let's put on some gloves first. Now let's take out the molds or the candle wax pieces, and they're all ready to go. Here we are. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is lay these flat. A couple of them broke, but it's not a big deal. I will show you how to remedy that. And we're going to make them look toasted. But before we do that, I'm going to perforate the holes where I want my wicks to go. And I'm doing that just with this long metal rod. You can use a skewer, anything close to the size of a wick. All right. So now we're going to separate our slices. We took the pigment, the candle dye, and a regular craft sponge, and we're going to make the bread look toasted by just rubbing it lightly, just like that. Once that's done, we're going to pick the most solid candle to go at the base, and we're going to put our wicks through the holes so we can start forming our candle, just like that. Okay. For any pieces that broke along the way, I'm just cementing them with a little bit of soy wax to act as glue, just so the candle is nice and firm as we stack it. Okay, so that's what we're left with. I'm going to take a little bit more of the candle dye and just move my brush around it, especially in the center where, normally French toast would be darker in the center because it's on the pan and the hottest part of the pan is the middle. So I'm going to go around, do the edges of the bread. Oops, that fell out. All right, just try to make it look realistic. If you need to look at a picture for reference, that's completely okay. So we're positioning our butter just like that. I'm going to add a little bit more depth. Less is more with this. Don't start off too heavy-handed. It's easier to build up instead of, go in reverse when it comes to this color. All right. And just work that in, make it look realistic, play with it a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do after this is prepare our syrup, and I'm using gel wax that I tinted to be this mapley syrup type color. We're going to set that to the side, make sure it's not too hot before we pour it on. And after we get our candle nice and secure, make sure the layers are secure, we want to think about what we're going to burn the candle in. Now, I have these tin containers that I already use for other candles I make, and it seems to fit perfect in there. Honestly, it fits really snug. And this is going to be what we burn our candle in. It's not going to present any hazard issues, anything like that. And it's going to make a nice pool of wax. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pour on the syrup. This is the fun part. This will not only help to make it look incredibly realistic, but it kind of cements all of the layers together. And what I'm also going to do is pour it along the sides and the base. That way the candle has something to hold on to as it's shipping or even as it's burning. All right. And I'm going to add a little bit more over here. All right. And the showstopper, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of powdered sugar on top. The powdered sugar is not going to present any issue. We're not putting on too much, and it's just going to melt along with the wax as your candle burns. And there we have it, a beautiful French toast candle. Super simple, super easy to make. This is really all about color and depth and playing with textures that makes it look so realistic in the end. So thank you guys again for watching this video. It is 3 a.m. I am exhausted. I will catch you guys tomorrow.